So it's Thursday. It's well, actually it's Friday now, but it's been all week. I haven't made a video, and mostly because I was on hold on the suicide hotline all week, and it was not a very good weekend, and I did not feel like talking about it. But I'm gradually getting over it right now, and it's the bye week. We don't have to deal with the Eagles this weekend, and we don't have to deal with the Phillies either. It would have been nice to have a couple games to watch this weekend with them down in Texas, but it didn't work out that way. So now we've got to wait until February and have to wait that whole long season all over again to see what they've got. But the Eagles, it's just one thing after another. All right, where do you begin on Sunday? All right, first of all, they didn't have their number one wide receiver. That kind of hurt them a little, but honestly, the offense, they couldn't get anything going after the first half. But I still don't think the offense was horrible. You know, they left some plays out there, you know, that this team, they've done that quite a few times this year, actually, in my opinion. When you think about it, they only had 7 points against the Lions until about 10 seconds left in the second quarter. So they've left a lot of plays out there. But when you don't have your number one wide receiver, it does hurt. Chad Hall and Riley Cooper, while I like both of them, they're not Deshaun Jackson. They can't give you the kind of production he can give you. Cobb wasn't good at all, but he was far from the reason why they lost this game. Mike McGlynn didn't block. Oh man, what's his name? I don't even remember. I don't even know his name. I don't even want to know. But he didn't block on that one running play. Kind of let them go right through that hole. Caused a fumble, and that turned the whole game around. Our secondary couldn't cover Kenny Britt, and Kerry Collins made them look like a college team, and they got absolutely torched by the Tennessee Titans. Now they go into the bye. Hopefully this leaves a little salty taste in their mouth, and they come out against the bye, and they only lose by about 20 points to the Colts. Because if they had won this game, they'd probably lose by about 30 points, but we've got a whole week to think about this game coming up against the Colts, and thank God they're not playing this weekend, because I don't know how I could deal with this right now. How do you let Kenny Britt and Kerry Collins make you look as bad as they made you look? You know, there's negatives and there's positives with this team. I mean, there's times when this team looks like a really legitimately good team. Like last week against the Falcons, they look like a really, really good team. Now, I don't know if that was the Falcons just didn't play well, or the Eagles just played well enough to beat them and make them look bad. I don't know. And I don't know whether this is just showing the AFC superiority over the NFC, because I still think if you name the top 5 teams in the league, they're all in the AFC. I mean, the NFC is terrible. There's no question about that. Is that what this was? Is this just the fact that the AFC teams are this much better than the NFC teams? And the Eagles are still in it. They're 4-3. I mean, they're far from out of it. But the schedule before the bye was favorable. And it was honestly, those were the games you had to win. You know, you had to be 5-2, 6-1 going into that bye week, because you're 4-3 now. Now you're a couple slip-ups away from really being in a lot of trouble, because your schedule after the bye, I mean, it's not easy. It's not easy at all. You're pretty much playing every team that's going to the playoffs or has your shot to go to the playoffs. And, you know, if you play like this, like you played on Sunday against teams like the Colts, teams like the Giants, the Texans, you know, and the Redskins again, I mean, that's 4 losses right there, you know. Maybe 5, and now if you lose 5 games, you're 500 at best. If you lose 4 games, you're barely over 500. So at this point, you've got to figure out this defense, because I think the defense is what's going to kill this team coming down the stretch. I think even with Vic or Cobb in there, the offense is fine, as long as the offensive line protects the quarterbacks. This offense is fine. You know, they're going to put up their 20 points a game, and they can win you games. But if you keep letting the teams back into games, I said this the week they lost to the Lions. I said if you let teams, good teams, keep coming back on you, like you let the Lions come back on you, they're going to beat you. And that's what happened. 27 unanswered points. That's unacceptable. That's not acceptable. And if you keep doing this and you keep letting teams like the Colts, the Texans, the Giants, the Redskins, the Bears, even the Vikings, who might still be in the hunt, maybe, you never know, they're going to hurt you. They're going to cost you football games. And I was told I was crazy back after they lost to the Lions, and they when they beat the Lions and then they beat the Jaguars by a certain member of Philly Heat. I was told I was an idiot and knew nothing about football, but I said this defense is the biggest obstacle they've got to overcome, and they haven't overcome it yet. Now, that being said, after the bye week, the Eagles under Andy Reid are 12-0 or some ridiculous number like that. They don't lose after the bye week, and that's something that can work in their favor. And the Colts, they don't have Dallas Clark. You don't know what might happen this week. Someone else might go down, and it might work into the Eagles' favor. Their defense isn't that good, so you could get into a shootout with the Colts. But I mean, this is Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning or Kerry Collins. I'm taking Peyton Manning. And if Kerry Collins did this against you, what is Peyton Manning going to do against you? So let's just forget about the Eagles for a week. It's going to be a long week, that's for sure. Because this team's got to come out after the bye, and they've got to show that they weren't the team that showed up this Sunday. I'm sticking to my guns. I said 9-7 at the beginning of the season. I was going to change it at halftime. I was ready to change my prediction. I was ready to say, you know what, this team might actually be an 11-5 team. But I don't think they're losing 2 games the rest of the year. I think it's going to be a little higher than that. But the one consolation, of course, is that the Dallas Cowboys are done. They're done. They are done. They are cooked. They are finished. They are... Oh, God, I can't tell you how happy I am about that. Of course, we're going to have to deal with the Cowboy fans. Well, we got 5 Super Bowls. How many Super Bowls you won? We've won 5 Super Bowls. What have you won? We have to deal with that, of course, because that's the only logical argument. Not, hey, we're 1-5 this year. Maybe we shouldn't be talking about things that happened decades ago. Yeah, we're at least 4-3. We've had a lot of injuries, and we've overcome those injuries. We're still in the hunt. What have you guys got? You guys got nothing. And all those smack Cowboy fans talk about Kevin Kolb. You know what? Kevin Kolb showed more in the past 2 weeks than Tony Romo's shown all year. Oh yeah, Tony Romo puts up great numbers, so that's good for him. He's got a good offensive line. Kevin Kolb's got nothing. And Kevin Kolb still put up 1,000 yards in only, 3 games? I mean, come on. Don't trash Kevin Kolb. He's done more than your quarterback. And now you got John Kitna. We got Mike Vick coming back, all right? I think the Eagles are in better shape than the Cowboys, but it's a little consolation that they're 1-5. They're in the cellar of the division. I mean, it does help. It helps a little bit. It's just funny that, the one team everybody predicted to win the division is the furthest from winning the division. And they might still end up being better than the Eagles. But right now, it's as bad as the Eagles are, it's really sweet knowing the Cowboys are that much worse. I love it. Love it.